Have you ever noticed that prices seem to be getting higher and higher every year? Have you ever found yourself wondering why that is and what it means for your wallet? If so, you're not alone. Inflation is a term that we hear a lot, but many people don't really understand what it means or how it impacts their lives. I remember when I was a kid, I could go to the corner store and buy a bag of chips for a quarter. Nowadays, that same bag of chips costs me at least $1. What gives? Why does it seem like everything is getting more expensive? That's where inflation comes in. Inflation is the rate at which prices for goods and services as a whole are going up, which means that people have less money to buy things. Central banks attempt to limit inflation and avoid deflation by adjusting interest rates and the amount of currency in circulation in order to keep the economy running smoothly. But what does that really mean for you and me? Why should we care about inflation, and how can we protect ourselves from its effects? That's what we're going to be talking about today. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have a much better understanding of inflation and how you can take steps to protect your wealth in the face of rising prices. As I'm sure you're all wondering, the question on everyone's mind is, what exactly is inflation? Well, to put it simply, inflation is an increase in the general price level of goods and services in an economy over a period of time. In other words, it's when the cost of things like groceries, rent, and even your morning coffee starts to rise. But why should you care about inflation? Well, for starters, it can affect your purchasing power. If the cost of goods and services goes up but your income stays the same, you may find that you can't afford to buy as much as you used to. That's why it's important to keep an eye on inflation and plan for it in your budget. One way to do this is by investing in assets that tend to do well during times of inflation, such as stocks or real estate. These types of investments have the potential to increase in value as the cost of goods and services goes up, helping to offset the effects of inflation. But it's not just about investing. There are other small steps you can take to prepare for inflation as well. For example, try to pay off high-interest debt as soon as possible, as the cost of borrowing money can increase with inflation. You can also consider stockpiling necessities like non-perishable food and household items when they're on sale, as they may cost more in the future. Inflation may seem like a small and insignificant issue, but it can have a big impact on your finances. You can be more ready for the future if you take steps to plan for and lessen the effects of it. Have you ever gone to your favorite fast food chain and noticed that the prices have gone up since the last time you were there? Or have you ever bought a pack of gum and noticed that it's smaller than it used to be, but the price is still the same? These are examples of inflation at work. Inflation is defined as an increase in prices and a decrease in the purchasing power of money. It's something that happens over time and can have a big impact on your personal finances. That's why it's important to understand what causes inflation and how to protect yourself from it. One of the main causes of inflation is an increase in demand for goods and services. When more people are looking to buy something, the price goes up. Another cause is an increase in the cost of production, such as when the price of raw materials goes up. Inflation can also be caused by a decrease in the supply of money, which can lead to higher prices as people compete for the same goods. So, how can you protect yourself from inflation? One way is by investing in assets that tend to increase in value as inflation rises. This might include stocks, real estate, or even collectibles. It's also important to keep an eye on interest rates, as they can help offset the impact of inflation on your savings. But perhaps the most important thing is to have a budget and stick to it. You can protect yourself from the effects of inflation by planning ahead and being aware of how much you spend. So, it's always a good idea to have a budget and to review it regularly to make sure you're on track. In conclusion, inflation is a natural part of the economy that can have a big effect on your ability to buy things and how you plan your finances. By understanding what inflation is, how it is measured, and how it can affect you, you can take steps to protect your financial well-being. One way to hedge against inflation is to invest in assets that tend to keep up with or outperform inflation, such as stocks, real estate, and commodities. You can also try to increase your income through education and career advancement or by starting a side hustle. Another important aspect of managing your finances in the face of inflation is budgeting. By making and sticking to a budget, you can make sure you are getting the most out of your money and not spending too much on things you don't need. Remember, the key to success is to be proactive and plan ahead. Don't let inflation catch you off guard. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We've got plenty more financial tips and tricks on the way, so stay tuned.